All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, so we're sitting right underneath all-time highs coming into CPI tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm just going to say we have big tech earnings coming in hot next week. Market has been indecisive, but it's pretty clear as day where this market wants to go next. Pullback should be bought. Expect it to continue. As long as you're not taking out 66330 over here this low, you're above that 21 EMA. You lost it, reclaimed it, tested it, and now you're pushing up to a new high. Up. That's where we're going. We're going up. All right. This weekly chart, it suggests we're going up. That's about it. Okay. Everything as a whole, it suggests we're going up. What do I do here on this channel, guys? I lay out the probabilities. I cover the indices every day. I cover the Mag 7 stocks, and then I give you trade ideas at the end of the video that likely are going to be doing well in the short term. They're the things that are setting up for short-term moves. All right, as well as, swing trades that I'm seeing start moving and grooving as well. All right. And as of right now, guys, things are shaping up for another push. Okay, so before we go over the indices, we're going to actually kick it off with the Mag 7 stocks today. And I'm just going to point out, coming into these big tech earnings next week, all right, we got Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Apple, and Meta. They're all reporting next week. Tesla reported today. Tesla's exploding. Tesla's probably about to drive it up to all-time highs. So the Mag ETF, it's consolidating over here, looks just like QQQ. It looks like it wants to head higher in the short term. I'm pretty positive Tesla's going to be leading the pack. But with those big tech earnings next week, I'm guessing most of them are probably going to be catching up. I'm thinking Meta's going to be making a move. I'm thinking Amazon looks pretty beautiful over here, okay? Microsoft doesn't look all that bad. It's not my favorite. Doesn't look all that bad. Apple, I find it hard to believe they're going to really sell you down after consolidating underneath all-time highs for this long here. Pulled you back, pushed you back up. I doubt that is all she wrote, okay? Tesla, you've been basing out above 414.50 for all this time, and now you have the catalyst that could have set you down, and it should have, and it didn't. Okay, I listened to that earnings call. It didn't sound all that great. It didn't. What happens? All right, you gap down over here to support, bottom of the range, the floor recently, and you push right back up. Okay, the thing looks like it wants to head up to all-time highs. The MAGS ETF looks like it wants to break out. That's where probabilities are favoring right now. Upside, okay? So just want to get that out of the way, all right? But this is the MAGS ETF. It only has the 7 Magnificent 7 stocks in it, and it looks like this thing wants to make a new high. It looks like this monthly candle here is going to expand a bit into end of month. We have 8 days left, okay? You got 1 week left, guys. Weekly, daily, looks good. Come over to Amazon, okay? You got this downtrend you're dancing around right now. You could pop above 223.32. It's looking nice. Okay. But, at the end of the day, you do have earnings next week. I'm not going to tell anybody to do anything right before earnings. Do whatever you want. No financial advice will be given here on this channel. What I will tell you is you close out with a green week here. This is something you haven't had 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. You lost the 21 EMA here on the weekly time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4 closes up underneath it. And now you're about to get your first close above it, back above it. All right, cloud flipped red for just 1 week, flipped right back to green. If I'm not mistaken, this thing wants to push back up. Okay, we'll see what happens with those earnings. NVDA, this is the only one that does not have earnings coming up next week. And this guy, I'm just going to say, flow was bullish coming in hot today. Okay, a lot of 185C coming in, 1121, I believe was the expiration I was seeing mainly. Above 185, guys, 190.105, 195.62. I'm not going to say I like this all that much, and I'm not going to be participating. I got a little chunk of change out of it over here on the breakout. Didn't, move as well as I thought. I thought we'd be going 200 plus there on the move. Now I'm saying this breakout over here has not gone like any of the other ones that have found, great successful pushes here. All right, so I'm personally leaving alone, but I'm not going to say it looks terrible. Come over to Microsoft, okay? You're consolidating 521.60. All right, we're going to mark out yesterday's high, 525.23 above there, 531.03. All right, weekly does not look bad. Monthly, we've been pointing out ever since we printed it last month. All right, it looks like this thing is basing out before a move higher. Google, you did end up pushing up, breaking those highs here in the after hour session. And I am thinking you are probably going to be continuing the short term. Again, you have earnings coming in hot next week, but I'm just making it real clear here at the beginning of the video. You guys can use your own brains and your own eyeballs here. I'll connect the dots for us, okay? But please do so on yourself, on your own as well. Pointed out over here, it was the one showing strength as the market was not. It did end up popping a few days later. I also pointed out off the 21 EMA over here on that. You got this 1 day pop over there. All right, so I gave it to you early. Bull flag breakout, break and retest, and now you're consolidating underneath all-time highs. Like, this thing's about to push. I don't know if they're going to push you all that much tomorrow, okay? But I am guessing this is going to continue running into earnings next week. All right, let's take that back there. All right, coming down here to Apple. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video there, you pushed up to all-time highs here, consolidated underneath them, pulled back, lost the 21 EMA, got back above it, and now you're at new all-time highs. I doubt this is all she wrote. All right, I doubt it. Expect dips to be bought on this name. Expect them on the Mag 7 stocks to be bought. That's pretty much it right now. All right, until proven otherwise, that's going to be the case. We've been doing a whole lot of nothing for a while here on the indices, and it's finally starting to shape up for that next move. Okay? I tell people to take a chill pill throughout this time. Guess what? Anybody who has been, trading this, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? You know the environment has been extremely, just violent chop. That's what we got. We have taco moments every other day, maybe even every day. Okay? All right, but yeah, Tesla. Big green candlestick today. Bullish engulfing candlestick above 450. We have 470.75, 488.54. Coming over here to the weekly time frame. Look where you're basing out above. I've been talking about this monthly candle expanding, saying this monthly chart right here, this monthly candle, this baby candlestick, this is what made me think we're going to be running into end of month. I think Tesla might be about to rip faces. I'm back in, baby. All right. I'm thinking this thing's going to be pushing into end of month here. I think we might break above 488.54, and I'm just saying, oh baby, they're lighting up the tape today. 550C coming in hot. All right, we're talking January calls, December calls, 1121 500C lighting up the tape. Real talk, this thing might be about to have that next leg up out of this consolidation, and it's probably going to be explosive. Premiums have died back down. Yes, they got pumped. they got pumped, but we talked about it. If they don't send this off of earnings, premiums are going to die back down, and that's when it becomes interesting again, okay? But yeah, top watch over here on the Mag 7 stocks into end of month here. I'm thinking this is going to be getting some nice moves. And guess what? We know the MAGS ETF is likely going to rip. We know Tesla's likely going to be leading the pack. Guess what doesn't have earnings next week? Tesla. All right. Watch it. Meta. All right. Liking what's going on here on the monthly. We got 8 days left in this candlestick. Found buyers off of the 9 EMA there. Back above the weekly 21. And we talked about this level 741. Got to get above 741. You've rejected around here for 3 days now. All right. You got to get a pop above there. Daily cloud did flip green as of today. Okay. What do we know about what happens in the past when that happens? We'll just take it back. All right. You get big pops and then consolidation that gets followed by more big pops. Okay. Point is, momentum is we're probably going to start building something out, and then you get a pop and momentum starts coming back into the thing. All right. That's what we're going to be looking for. It's not a guarantee. But again, I'm giving you plenty of things to trade that, you don't have to be uncertain like this, okay? I've told you very clearly what you're waiting on a Meta. You're waiting for the break above 741. We need to see it. But again, you got earnings next week. So I'm just going to say, you want to trade a Mag 7 stock, trade the MAGS ETF or trade Tesla. All right, Amazon is looking mighty fine. Mighty freaking fine. Daily cloud is about to flip green. You got this trend line resistance going on above 223.32, 228.25. And then you're going straight up to all-time highs. It looks beautiful. It really does. This is actually like a parallel channel you could draw it to. But, there you go. Just lines on a chart, baby. Lines on a chart. All right. Now we go over the indices. I know. Crazy. We switched around today. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. All right. On the upside, We just have all-time highs, 674, guys, 673.95 above there. I think we're going 680 plus. We do have CPI coming in hot tomorrow morning. We're not really going to talk about this guy all that much, okay? But I really just wanted to, outline how things are looking here across the board with big tech about to lead the way. Looking pretty. It's looking real juicy, okay? But yeah, that's what you're watching on the upside. 680 becomes the target if you could break above 674. And keep in mind the environment we've been in where every single little pop into a new high gets sold. Okay, so you get a 2-day pop here, okay? Expected to pull back down here. I know, frustrating stuff. Break and read this. I know. All right, but what comes next? You break over here, you pop into new highs, expected to pull back. All right, that is exactly how this market has been trading for so long. So long, guys. You see a gap up tomorrow, you see a juicy fat gap up like that, expect it to sell. All right, that's how this market's been happening. Look at this, gap up, sell. All right, you had a push, you give it back by end of the day. Gap up, sold, came down, almost filled the gap. All right, a little gap up, gave it back. A little gap up, gave it back. And so I'm just pointing out, this is how this market's been moving. It's not going to be picture perfect. Okay, a little gap up, went for a little, gave it back. It's just how this market's been moving. So expect it. All right. That is SPY, and on the downside, you're just watching 66330, okay? That's right underneath the 21 EMA. You take that out, all right? Everything we're talking about for the time being goes out the window. We're back in this chop fest, and I can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. QQQ on the upside, 61141, 61318. Okay, this looks like it wants to push up. Again, all-time highs in the short term. Does not look bad. Weekly looks like it wants to take out this high tomorrow. But again, CPI. So I ain't got a crystal ball that's going to tell me what happens tomorrow morning. But I can tell you, no matter what, they'll prove it otherwise. That's where odds favor right now. Okay, upside. But yeah, above 613.18, we're talking 615, 618, 620. On the downside, 599.74. That is the level to watch over here on QQQ. DIA looks like it's getting ready for a push back up to highs. IWM looks like it's getting ready for a push back up to highs. Not going to say this weekly chart looks good at all, but it's kind of a version of what we have over here on the indices anyway. We've got a really choppy market. I know we've been going up, but let's be real about it. Like this, it hasn't been as violent as this. This is violent chop, okay? Taco moments all the time. Just a Trump tweet away from market just taking a giant shit. All right, and then bang. All right, 2 hours later. Oh, no, I'm kidding, guys. Just kidding. I reversed everything I just said, and market goes back up. That's genuinely been how everything's been trading. That is our market. Beautiful. I know. So beautiful. All right. VIX continues to crush, guys. All right. You got another close underneath the 21 EMA. Cloud is about to flip red. I'm just saying, we're probably getting a VIX crush going on. People like to think I'm crazy. I ain't just a permabull. Okay, I'm definitely going to lean on the side of the bulls here if weekly and monthly charts are clear as day in an uptrend. All right, let me just remind everyone. This was the one time in like what, a year and a half, 2-year period where you took out a low. All right. 1.5 years. 1.5 years, ladies and gents. Look back at all this time. You put in a low, you don't violate low. You're in weekly uptrend. Okay. Oh, wow, look at that. You take out low. Oh, next few weeks are down. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But you can literally see that you would just keep making higher lows. Okay. So I'm going to, remind everyone, okay, you might have been wrong, or might have been right, shorten for this little move here. But guess what? The prevailing move was going to be to the upside. All right. And that was that. And right now, yeah, I'm telling you, we're probably not going to be going through a corrective period. Consider we just kind of went through our corrective period and traded flat for 2 weeks. All right, there you go. All right, trade ideas, guys. I got you. INTC. Now, we've been talking about this thing in consolidation over here. You do have earnings going on right now, okay, after the close there. And it's okay, guys. You missed it. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's not even like you could have taken the entry and caught this move, but at the end of the day, it's a gamble. It's earnings. We all know that. Okay. What we do definitely know here now, okay, with this new information we got, is if they close this thing strong this week, then you're breaking out of a 4-week range. 1, 2. Okay. You had this first initial breakout week right here. I'm just going to say 2 weeks. Okay. Even if this is your first, breakout week here and we get up to like 42, 43 bucks tomorrow. All right. You're probably going to continue the following week after that. All right. So just realize like this move right here, it's okay. Don't be sad you're missing it. Don't be sad. Okay. Don't be mad. Don't be sad. Don't be frustrated. It's okay. Why? Because now as traders, this tells us what is likely going to come next. We know where the stock wants to go. It's finally breaking out of this frustrating consolidation. Good stuff. Okay. But that's INTC, guys. We're going to be watching that for upside next week. CRWD crowd. All right. I'm going to tell you guys, this is going to be my little money printer over the coming weeks, guys. Dips are going to be buying opportunities. They should be bought on this name. Fresh breakout into highs, guys. We've been consolidating over here. I probably mentioned a few times in consolidation over here. I'm going to be wearing my CrowdStrike hoodie more. Why? Because it's going to be my little money printer over the coming weeks. Now, real talk, guys. You broke above 507.60 today. You pushed straight up into all-time highs. This thing has had a date with all-time highs for so long, and now, they're having a jolly good time together, okay? Jolly good time, all right? They've been thinking about each other the whole time, and now they've connected. They're here. And now, this bad boy wants to run. I'm not saying go straight up. There will be pullbacks. I guarantee it, okay? And I'm not telling anybody along right here. You can open up a swing position over here, or you could just wait for the pullback that's very likely going to come next week. There you go. Just look at how the thing trades. You get pullbacks, every day you get a little slight pullback, and then you get these whammies, okay? Wait for the whammy. Wait for it. It's going to come. All right? It's going to come. I'm going to come. Oh, my God. That's CRWD. I know. You were expecting me to say CRWV. Psych. CrowdStrike. There you go. ASML. Getting ready for a break above 1059. Should bring it up to new all-time highs, 1110. Okay. I pointed this one out in consolidation over here. I didn't touch it, but I'm telling you right now, it's now consolidating and it's likely getting ready for another move up. It looks pretty beautiful over here on the daily. Now, a little thing of caution over here. Look at what's happened on some of these other ranges. Okay. Sometimes you look pretty beautiful and you end up swiping down, coming back into the moving averages. So just realize that is a possibility. If we see that, clear as day, buy it. All right. No financial advice will be here on this channel. Okay. I'll gladly help y'all throughout your trading journeys here with these daily updates and the weekly update. If you are new here, remember to hit that subscribe button so you can keep coming back to the channel to see what we got. All right. I will keep you posted on everything you need to really know about the Mag 7 stocks, how the market's moving, SPY QQQ over there, VIX, and then I give you trade ideas at the end of every single video. Okay. Every video lets you know what is moving, what is grooving. I think that really is my value proposition here. I got you. Okay. But yeah, 1059 above there, 1110. IBM. Holy sweet baby Jesus. You think Tesla's nuts? Did anybody look at IBM today? Went a little crazy. Okay. Above 288.85, we have 296.16, 301.04, and then you're in price discovery mode. I think this thing has a date with all-time highs over the coming weeks. Maybe it continues consolidating, but this is 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of consolidation. You pull back to the weekly 21 EMA with the gap down this morning, and buyers stepped in with vengeance. Oh my sweet baby Jesus. Expect buyers to continue taking this higher in the short term. That's IBM. Okay. Dell, another one I've been pointing out in this consolidation over here. Okay. IBM, it's been looking nice and pretty. We were not expecting that thing to happen today. No. But hey, it's looking even more pretty than before now. Dell, weekly and daily time frames, they are suggesting this thing wants to be pushing up. You got the over here. All right, pull back, retest of this area, 147.66. So far, you're printing a hammer candlestick on the week. Daily time frame, I pointed out yesterday, this is a nice area to risk off if you want to just long around here. All right, and risk right over here, these candle lows right on the 21. There you go. There's your low risk entry for this potential move up to new all-time highs up here. Okay. We have a high to mark out right over here, 166.10. Above there, you're going to all-time highs. But yeah. All right, watch 161.5, 166.10, 179.70. It's looking juicy. Okay. APLD. I know, no one expected to hear this name on here. No. All right. Oh, we've been talking about APLD for a while. It was on this move right here, and then it wanted to die down for a while, and now, oh, it's coming back. Okay, it's coming back, and what I'm going to say right now is kind of crazy. You're pushing, we're going to call this all-time highs. I know you got over here, but that was way long ago. We're going to call this all-time highs. We'll say highs, okay? You're pushing up. There's a massive base you could see here. All right, same thing I'm looking at on the monthly time frame. This thing's looking pretty sweet. You got a lot of volume coming in as you're pushing up to the breakout area. On the weekly over here, you can see you pull back, all right, tag the 5 EMA. I don't like these candlesticks when they print. They tell me you're probably going to consolidate the next week, all right, or at least I should be expecting consolidation on that next candlestick, okay? On the daily over here, you found buyers off of the 21 EMA. They just had, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was a $15 billion deal come into their pipeline. Okay. Maybe it was just a $5 billion deal. Stock price barely moved. It did not move. It was right over here. Okay. You had a decent spike there. Okay. 10% move up and you faded it. Now I'm telling you, the thing's looking pretty beautiful over here on the daily time frame. We know the monthly is telling us that this thing probably goes a lot higher. I can't tell you if it consolidates around here, but I can say this thing can move. All right, this thing could definitely move. We've seen it just continue grinding higher now, and I would not be surprised to see this next leg up happen next week. Okay, maybe you consolidate a little bit around here because of the weekly candlestick I just pointed out. All right, get some action like that going, but pay attention to it. Okay, put it on your watch list. APLD. Palantir, guys, the time is now. We've been waiting so long for this bad boy. I more than doubled down today. I'm excited for this guy. I think we're probably about to see this break from this 5-week freaking range we got going on, okay? This year, you have 4 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, inside of this body over here, okay? We have like a quintuple, I don't know how to say 5, okay? But quintuple, whatever we want to call it, okay? It's a 5-week inside, range we got going on here inside this guy. You tested the 9 EMA last week. You tested it this week. You pulled back to yesterday over there and you found buyers and got almost back up to yesterday's high today. I'm not saying they're going to send this into end of week here, but I will not be surprised if they bring this thing up and finally close outside of this range. Give me a bullish weekly candlestick here, and I'm calling it. All-time highs coming next week. 200, 210 incoming before earnings. I know, crazy stuff, but it is time, guys. It is time. This thing only gets so tight before it snaps. It's getting tight. MU, all right, hit it with the bullish engulfing candlestick today. Probably going to be pushing back up the highs. I don't like that weekly candlestick. Typically, we get, continued consolidation the next week. Right over here, you topped, you pulled back, you got a similar candlestick, you got consolidation the next week. You have a similar candlestick right here, you got consolidation the next week. So I'm not saying it's a guarantee. This thing's not, I'm not saying it's a guarantee this thing stays consolidated into next week, but I am telling you that's where I'm going to be leaning. I really like the look of this daily chart, though. So honestly, I'm going to say it's up in the air. This thing is either going to squeeze in the short term, okay? And you know what? Screw squeeze. It's going to push in the short term, okay? We're talking 220 plus in the short term here. And we closed out with a nice bullish candlestick to end the week, and we push higher next week. Or you close out similar to how you are right now, and I think you probably stay here consolidating at least for a little bit into next week, and then you go, okay? That's MU. I'm really liking how it's shaping up here. I really am. If INTC is going, I imagine some of these chip names are going to go as well. MDB, I've been talking about this one a few times here in this range. It's getting ready to go. You clearly see the consolidation here on the weekly. I'm pointing out on the daily over here. Yeah, this thing's consolidating around the top, above the 21 EMA. At some point, this thing's probably going to snap. All right. On the upside, you're watching 335.83. That's the level you're watching for break above rejection. All right, you set the level right here, established it. You have rejection, rejection, rejection. You tested a 4th time. I think you're going to break it. That's 335.83 above there, 344.85, and then you have a date with 370 plus. Rocket Lab, second day finding buyers off the 21 EMA. just like another name I mentioned before, APLD, Dell. Okay, this gives you a nice spot to risk off of. You can take the entry around here and risk this low at 58.41. And at the end of the day, even if you're long and right here, okay, the 7% of risk, 8% of risk right there, right when you get back up these highs, it becomes a 1 to 2 risk reward. Okay, in reality, this thing's going 80 plus. If you get this move back through highs here, it's going 80 plus in the short term, probably 85 plus. At that point, you risk 8% for 30 plus percent. All right. So there you go. That's Rocket Lab. But 1 week breakout, 1 week consolidation, 2 weeks consolidation, big move on the third week there. You have that same thing going on right now. I'm not saying you're going to get the big move on the third week there, but we're definitely going to be watching for it. That's Rocket Lab. APP, I think it's starting to turn around over here. I like what it's doing. You do have earnings coming in. Okay, but this looks like it wants to start turning around. If you can get back above 620, that's what I'm going to say. It is turning around. Okay, that is the case. If you can get back above 620, I'm actually just going to mark out this high over here. It's right there, 619, 616.28. I'm still going to say 620. Mark it on. That's where I got my alert. All right, but yeah, you had this big breakout. I put it on everyone's radar when we were over here during earnings. Okay, why? Because you can look back and 11 out of 11 at the time I made that, that call there. Okay, I was pounding the table on it. You have 11 out of 11 times you got, I think it was over a 10% move off earnings. Let's just fact check us, real quick. Okay, you got 1 big gap up, you got 2 big gap up, you got 3, you got 4. Aha. 15%. Okay. So what is that? 4, you got 5, you got 6, 7. All right. I'm not saying they all hold. All right. But that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 11 out of 11 earnings. You had an over 10% move on the earnings day. It didn't tell us if it was going to happen overnight or if it was going to happen intraday. It does not tell us that. Over here, it was absolutely freaking beautiful. I was sitting here at the dentist that day. Straight up, killed premiums. It was beautiful. And you knew if the stat was going to live, then it was going to squeeze over 10% that day. I think it was actually like a 12%. I think that was the minimum move we were seeing. Either way, you did so. And now you have a 12th occurrence under your belt where earnings brought this over 10% move or whatever it was. I forgot the exact stat. Okay, but we just went over together and looked at it. You can see, use your brain, use your own eyeballs. I'll use mine for us too. But this thing's probably gonna, have another one, guys. That's 3 years now where this thing has been having every single darn stinking earnings day over a 10% move. Who's not gonna take these odds? Who's not going to take the odds? Just gets added to the S&P 500. My guess is this thing is going to get up to new all-time highs on earnings, okay? Maybe it starts pushing into earnings. That's why I'm putting it on your radar right now. I think we're bottoming right here, all right, off the 90 EMA. This is the 3rd week in a row. You're finding buyers off of it. But real talk, this is going to be another big trade for us, okay? I just told you CrowdStrike. This is going to be my little money printer over the coming, I'm thinking 1 to 2 months. Yeah, APP over here, I'm telling you, this thing over here, we got a nice trade loading. All right. Right here might be the early entry on it. So I'm going to be entering tomorrow. All right. But that's APP. I'm really liking it. AFRM, you haven't been above the 21 EMA. I think it's been 3 weeks now. A month. Okay. A month. This is the first daily close above that, done on increasing volume. You do have earnings around the corner. All right. I'm not telling you to hold through those. But I am telling you, put this on your watch list. There are definitely better names, I just pointed out, than AFRM over here. I'm not going to cap. Okay, that's how it is. All right? I'm telling you. All right? CRWD, Crowd, ASML. You know what? No. CRWD, IBM, Dell, PLTR, MDB eventually, and APP. These are the no-brainers that I'm seeing right now. These are, I'm going to give them the heaviest weight. Now, out of all these ideas here, okay, all the setups I just pointed out, how everything's shaping up, those are the things you're probably going to have the best time with, okay? Those are the things that I trust in my head right now. Like, the other ones, I can't tell you, okay? But, are you really going to argue with what I just said with APP? 3 years in a row you got that move. You're clearly showing signs of you putting in a bottom over here, a floor. Real talk. This is your early entry point. And then just, if you take the entry point here, you get a nice move before earnings. You can also have another trade off of earnings. It's 2 nice trades. I just handed to you on a silver platter. There you go. All right. But yeah, affirm, guys. I like how this weekly candle's loading up. Month underneath the daily 21. First daily close above it today. That's a change of character right now. You should take note. 1, 2, 3, 4 red weeks. If you have your first green week here, I have to assume you're going to be, starting to reverse. All right. So I'm going to look for this reversal to start taking place over here. I'm liking how it's shaping up. And yeah, I'm just kind of putting it on your radar early. There's no setup here. There's not. I'm just pointing out it is starting to shift its tide. Okay, the tide is starting to change. Path. I was seeing nice flow come in. All right, today on Path. I'm seeing calls come in right as we're coming into the 21 EMA. I pointed this out. I think it was on this big gap up. When this thing ended up pulling back into the moving averages, we were going to see if it got that second wind. Oh, it got a second wind, all right. It went freaking nuts from 13 to almost 19 bucks. And now pulled back in this very controlled manner. They walked it down to the 21 EMA. It looks like a flag. Here on the weekly time frame, we can see we literally pulled back into where we broke out from. If you're going to hit it with a zone, all right, I'd say you'd be looking like this. All right, isn't that real pretty, guys? Isn't that super pretty for us? Yes, it is. Okay, I think this thing is probably going to start finding buyers around here. I think we probably will have a larger push. No guarantees, but this is a big base breakout. I think this is 1.5 years that we're just breaking out from. Okay, 1.5 years we're just now starting to break out from. And we're retesting. Like, this is your low risk entry point. And again, just like some of these other names that I pointed out in this video, you could just risk right here this low that you made off the 21 EMA test. Okay, as far as risk reward goes, 5%, under 5% you're risking if you could scoop it up at the exact price. And over here, bringing it up to highs, that becomes a 4-to-1. I'm telling you, this thing might be going, a lot higher than over here if it's going to begin to move, I'm thinking. This is a range over here of 6 points, 3 points. Okay. Give me 6 points, brings you up 22 bucks. That's Path. All right. Quad U, UU. I'm liking how this thing is moving. It was one of the only names showing, clear as day strength. We had, a solid flow coming in on this name yesterday. We do have earnings around the corner. All right. But I told you guys how this thing likes to move in yesterday's video. It grinds. Okay. You get red candle, green candle, red candle. Okay. And then you grind. But notice how there's pullbacks on pretty much every single day. So just expect, if you're trading this with me, that's how it's going to move. All right. And this is kind of, no surprise with how it's going to move. Maybe you get a gap up. Maybe it starts moving like that. Really not sure, but I am expecting this to push back up to highs. I'm thinking it happens before earnings. All right. And that is UU. Definitely got a decision candlestick going on yesterday. So if you're long in anything, you could easily use this as your stop. Okay. All right, guys. And that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really do. If you do, just please remember to leave a like. I greatly appreciate it. All right. You guys are wonderful people. We got a nice little gang going on over here. All right. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing good in the market. And I hope that consolidation that we just, got through here for the past 2 weeks, I hope it didn't wreck you. Okay. I hope you didn't get slapped around too silly. I really don't, because in reality, they happen sometimes. Like every few weeks, we're going to get some crappy action. We're going to get a correction. All right. Whether that be sideways action or just an actual correction where, it's just a larger sell. We haven't had one in a while. All right. But, something larger. Okay. Like this cloud, the daily cloud over here on my indicator, it didn't even flip red. All right. Like this ain't much. And if you really got messed up in this, I'm telling you, you got to take a step back. You got to evaluate what you're doing. I'm telling you, there has to be some sort of system that you have in place that tells you, okay, this is not the time to go balls to the walls in the market right now. This is the time to try and protect yourself. Okay. If you got that itch, you could scratch your itch. Okay. That's fine. Use it with less size, or scratch it with less size. That's that. All right. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Market's heating back up. We got big tech earnings coming hot next week. We have CPI coming hot tomorrow. All right. But yeah, If you want to come trade with me, join our private group. That link is down below. I'm live every day. All right. And with that being said, guys, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.